I'm sorry, but thank you. I love you.
Love you back. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our second Rooster Booster of March. It's good to have you with us this morning. We're going to ask that you stand for our invocation and our Pledge of Allegiance. With our pledge this morning, we have the Chamber Board Vice Chair, Membership Services. We have Olga McKissick with us. Olga's going to come up. By the way, as she's walking up here, I have to tell you, we made a connection this week that we didn't realize we had. I'm like longtime friends with her son. Back in the early 90s, I spent time at her house, and we didn't even realize it until like 2 days ago. Remember me? Isn't that amazing, though? I love it. Olga, everybody.
He's family now. So if everyone could bow your heads, please. Well, wait a minute before you bow your heads. Jesus gave us an example of how he wanted us to pray in Matthew 6 and Luke 9. The Maori Indians of New Zealand, they use that as their guide in their prayer. So I'm going to pray that prayer today, so now you may bow your heads. Eternal Spirit, Earth Maker, Pain Bearer, Life Giver, the source of all that is and that shall be. Father and Mother to us all, loving God in whom is heaven. The hallowing of thy name echoes across the universe. The way of your justice be followed by the people of the world. Your heavenly will be done by all created beings. The commonwealth of your peace and freedom sustain our hope and come on earth. The bread that we need for today, feed us. The hurt that we absorb from one another, forgive us. In times of temptation and test, Lord, strengthen us. From trials too great to endure, spare us. For you reign in the power that is love, now and forever. We ask a special covering over the families in Nashville, Father God, and the families in Fort Campbell, Lord God. We ask for a special covering over a special lady, Lord God. You know her needs, Father, and we know, Father, that you are able. You are able to exceedingly and abundantly above all that we ask and think, Lord God. We need you, Lord. Thank you for always being there for us and never, ever forsaking us. We love you. Amen.
That's great. We're going to have you remain standing for the pledge. 1 second. My gosh, I've always wanted one of these. So we have special guests with us this morning. Your state champion, Owensboro High School Red Devil cheer team. And to present the Pledge of Allegiance, please welcome to the podium, Jake Lindsay. I'm gonna need a set of pom-poms later.
Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good job, buddy. We'll let you get into place. Okay, so these folks, just for the first time in school history, won a state championship in cheer. How about that? That's awesome. By the way, they've been participating in this particular competition since 1955. But gosh darn it, they won a state title. So this morning, we're going to celebrate with the OHS fight song.
Yay, I get so excited. I'm sorry.
Good job, y'all. Thank you so much. Oh, is there more? Oh, no, okay. She's shooing them off. No, there's no more. Congratulations. Yeah, right. All right, you can remain standing for this morning's Mingle Minute. You're going to stand for the next 20 minutes. All right. Thank you so much. With the theme song from Friends playing, we hope you made some friends this morning. So you know the drill if you're here each and every month. We plant a secret shaker among you to shake hands with folks, and then we end up awarding one of those people a fun prize from our sponsor. And our secret shaker this morning from the Western Kentucky Botanical Garden, Lauren Estrell, where are you? There she is. Give Lauren a big round of applause, everybody. Doing great work over there. So who are we recognizing this morning? I love it. Alexa, first time at Rooster Booster, come on up. We are hooking you up with a sponsor prize from Green River Distilling Company. Should I take the tissue paper out and see what we got? Oh, here you are. There you go. Congratulations. Okay. Representing CareNet, by the way, first time here, so welcome. At this time, we are going to recognize our brand new chamber members, and we got a pretty good stack of them this morning. Excited about this? So we have the Heyday Health Medical Group. They're a new kind of primary care practice. Heyday brings primary care directly to its patients through a combination of house calls and telehealth. Every Heyday patient gets a 3-member personalized care team composed of a physician. I love that you all are already standing. I love it. They're on it. They are here immediately for your healthcare needs. They have a physician, nurse practitioner, and health ally that takes the time to get to know you and your unique needs. Heyday offers 24/7 access to a personalized care team, same and next day visits, easy refill requests, and more. In the Owensboro area, Heyday is serving Davis, Henderson, McLean, Ohio, Hancock, Breckenridge, Grayson, and Hardin counties, as well as a number of other counties down in the Bowling Green area. So joining us this morning are Dr. Nupur Mehta, Dr. John Walker, Crystal Medley, and Katie Lowe. Welcome to the chamber, and ring that bell, Heyday Health. That's great teamwork. I love it. Thank you all so much. Flex Wealth Management's next. In 2018, Mike Smith founded Flex Wealth Management, an independent firm powered by LPL Financial after 20 years of helping clients in the Louisville area plan their financial future. They provide financial planning and investment strategies to individuals, families, and companies, and design through implementation. In 2021, Flex opened their second office in Owensboro, Kentucky, through the acquisition of longtime community professional CPA Alan Braden's financial practice to facilitate Alan's retirement. Located on the corner of J.R. Miller Parkway and East Byers Avenue, they are excited to be a part of the Owensboro community. So joining us this morning are Mike Smith and Lisa Carter. Welcome to the chamber, Flex Wealth Management. Next, we have Flourish Counseling, offering counseling services for women seeking guidance with trauma, anxiety, depression, mood disorders, neurodivergence, and life transitions, specifically working to empower women and their families. Flourish also invites new and expectant mothers to services by offering a special focus on pregnancy, postpartum, and all the changes that occur with not only the birth of a child, but the birth of a mother. So joining us this morning is Beth Partain. Welcome to the chamber, Flourish Counseling. Did she ring the bell? There you go. Mercy Ambulance is the ambulance service for Davis County. They not only serve those who call 911, but all those in need of medical transport in other ways. They also do inter-facility transports and convalescent runs. They spend countless hours throughout the year participating in continuing education classes to obtain enough hours to renew their licenses. They love to educate the community and participate in those events that will lead us to meet and mingle with those that we serve. Joining us this morning, Charla Zellers and Billy Bratcher from Mercy Ambulance. Billy was hiding. Cleveland Cliffs is next. Flat-rolled steel production is the cornerstone of Cleveland Cliffs Rockport Works. Advanced high-strength steels are often the final product, making Rockport a world-class supplier to the auto-exposed market. It's a big reason why the plant has garnered several Suppliers of the Year awards. Other end-use markets include heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, carbon stainless service centers, light construction, and residential doors. And joining us this morning, Nathan Johnson and Mike Horn from Cleveland Cliffs. Energy continues to play a vital role in the economy and in our quality of life. And Next Era Energy Resources is committed to providing energy-related products and services that grow our economy, protect the environment, and support our communities. As one of the largest wholesale generators of electric power in the U.S., they believe the actions they take today will have an impact on our overall quality of life in the years ahead. And joining us this morning, we have Jarrett Daniels and Alex Wallace. Welcome to the Chamber, Next Era Energy Resource Services. The Isaac Sterrett Adventure Foundation was established in 2020. The foundation was created to honor the adventurous spirit of Isaac Sterrett and to inspire others to share his love and appreciation for nature. And plans are underway for two passion projects, iPark and the Center for Good Works. The Isaac Sterrett Adventure Foundation has a plan and a vision to create opportunities for those in our community. Hello? Hello. Oh, let me answer it, please. To be in the community, to be outside and appreciate the environment around them, just as Isaac did. Joining us this morning are Katie Sterrett, Julia Tipmore. Welcome to the Chamber, Isaac Sterrett Adventure Foundation. And Diane. Good morning, Diane. Strive Health Kidney Care of Owensboro believes early intervention and prevention are key to managing the progression of kidney disease. With Strive Dialysis, they provide support to patients undergoing dialysis, whether that be in a center or in a home. Their mission is to make dialysis patients feel at home, and the Owensboro location is a state-of-the-art facility designed to enhance that experience. Strive Dialysis centers feature the latest in dialysis technology. They have private suites and a compassionate approach to providing dialysis care. Joining us this morning, Jennifer Martin and Jackie Coyne from Strive Health Kidney Care of Owensboro. Founded in 2014, Triple Crown Realty Group specializes in residential, commercial, and investment real estate and requires a client-first philosophy for each top-notch agent under the brokerage. Real estate is an ever-changing landscape, so working with a knowledgeable and experienced agent is the key to executing a smooth transaction. Triple Crown Realty Group can unlock the way with agents that you can bet on. So joining us this morning, Mary Ann Steele and Charlie Dawson. Welcome to the Chamber, Triple Crown Realty Group. Your mama was my fourth grade teacher at Thurston.
Yeah.
She was, really. Loved her. Hayden Precision Welding started in 2012 as a single-man operation, primarily repairing agricultural equipment and custom residential fabrication. Today, Hayden Precision Welding specializes in welding aluminum and stainless steel for not only agricultural repairs, but also in industrial and commercial setting. They are now located on River Road near the Riverport, making it more convenient to serve Owensboro and our surrounding areas. So joining us this morning, Matt Hayden and Kara Hayden. Welcome to the Chamber, Hayden Precision Welding. And one big round of applause for all of our brand new members this morning. I told you we had a bunch. All right, it is time to recognize our ambassador, our Chamber Ambassador of the Month. And this month, we're giving a big round of applause to Justin Merritt from the Advanced Center for Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Where's Justin? Justin, how about a $50 gift card to Hillview Farms Meats? 5024 Lee Rudy Road here in town. They're Kentucky proud. You will taste the difference. Locally raised beef, pork, and chicken. Go get some. Thank you. Okay, so during the new member section, we were talking about the Isaac Sterrett Adventure Foundation. They're about to launch something really cool. It's a community cleanup. And to tell you all about it this morning, we have a special guest with us. Katie Sterrett, come on up here. We're going to have you come and tell everybody what's going on. And I believe she actually has a special guest with her too, but I'll let her do the honor.
I don't know who he is. He's coming in hot.
Oh, well, we need him, but I'll
Do I need-
begin without him.
Can we get a megaphone and we can like call for him? And...
We can do it.
Oscar, that's who I'm looking for. Thank you, everyone, for having, and we're new members. We are having a community cleanup on April 15th, and we hope that individuals and teams and businesses and families will join us. We're going to start about 7:30, 8 a.m., so that's bright and early. And we're just choosing, oh, here he comes.
There he is.
This is our mascot, the Owensboro Oscar. Isn't he cute? So, it's a competition, you guys. This is like our version of a 5K. It's how much trash can you pick up. So Oscar is our sweet little representative, and we're gonna have blue trash bags, and we have a map of Owensboro outside that we're trying to fill up. So if you have a section that you know really well, or you know where there's a lot of trash, you can tell us. So when you're filling out your form, you can do day of. It's also on the website. You're going to be competing for this gorgeous trash can trophy, and it's going to, have your name on the front if you pick up the most trash. This is all to do good for our town, our community, all of Davis County, not just Owensboro. So thank you all. We hope to have everyone there.
Katie, thank you. Katie Starrett and Oscar the Grouch. Watch the steps, Oscar. Last thing we need is a broken arm and a mascot suit. That sounds unfortunate. All right, super excited to have our sponsors with us this morning. And from the Green River Distilling Company, we're going to welcome to the podium our operations director, David Carroll. After the video.
Green River Whiskey is a legacy revived. Established in 1885, Green River is the 10th oldest licensed distillery in Kentucky, the pride of Owensboro. Green River pays homage to a rich history right on the bottle. In the early 20th century, Green River was the most advertised bourbon on the market, the official bourbon of the U.S. Marine Hospital. And when 20 barrels were traded for shares in a gold mine, Green River became the most expensive whiskey ever purchased. The distillery mysteriously burned just prior to Prohibition, living only in the annals of history until 2016 when the still started again. In 2022, this storied whiskey returned to the world, a heritage 138 years in the making. Today, Green River produces 3 expressions: bourbon, a wheated bourbon, and a single barrel. Known as the whiskey without regrets, today you'll discover a secret that won't be kept for long. Green River.
Good morning. On the video, we've kind of focused on our history and where we came from, being we're the 10th oldest distillery in the state of Kentucky, dating back to 1885. But I'd just like to tell you today about some of the things we're doing for our future. So in July of 22, Green River was acquired by Bardstown Bourbon Company. Since that time, we have established ourselves as an employer of choice and believe that it starts with investing in our employees. We've hired over 30 employees with an increase of 39% in headcount, bringing our total to 107 employees, with 25 of them all being from Davis County and the 5 being from the surrounding areas. And we are not complete. We're still hiring, we're still filling positions, still promoting from within. We've increased pay and benefits to be competitive with others against our industry and like employers of other industry in our surrounding area. On education, we have sponsored current employees and we are sponsoring future employees with education courses to continue their education. We've also partnered with OCTC in establishing the Green River 10 Scholarship. Right now at Green River, we have over 39 capital projects currently underway in the 23 year, with over $25 million being invested back into Green River Distillery and its properties. We are currently in the middle of a major shutdown right now. We're down for probably about 10 to 12 days with a lot of equipment coming out of the distillery, a lot of equipment going back in. We have cranes set up. There's a lot of action happening right now. Building with our infrastructure. At our event center, we have a large event center at Green River. And at that time, we also offer cocktails, cocktail classes, tours, hosting events, and other visitor experience. I highly recommend you taking and checking us out and booking behind the scenes experience. A lot of our tour guides and our visitor experience team is right here in front of me, and they do a great, great job. Last year, we saw over 10,000 visitors, with anticipate these numbers growing drastically in the next couple of years, as we are the largest distillery in Western Kentucky on the Heritage Bourbon Trail. The brand, as you see on our video, our brand, before the purchase by Bardstown Bourbon, Green River Bourbon was in 4 different states. After this year, we will have the pride of Owensboro in over 25 states, with plans to pursue all 50 states in the very near future. This Friday, we launch our newest package, which is the Wheated Bourbon. And if you would like to be one of those 600 lucky visitors to pick up a bottle, I advise you to stop by our gift shop to pick up that and other merchandise that's available. I have with me at the head table here Aaron Harris. Aaron is our head distiller and our distillery operations manager. I'd just like to thank everyone for the continued support of Green River Distillery and all of our current employees, and God bless.
Thanks, David. It is time for our chamber update, and with that, of course, our president and CEO, Candace Brake.
Good morning, everybody. Thank y'all so much today for being patient. We're having the Rooster Booster in this room because there's a convention in the convention center. So every time we can get conventions, we're happy, and thank you all. It's not as bright, Dee, but we know you're going to brighten everything up anyway. So it's so good to see everybody this morning. We do have a lot going on, so we'll get into the chamber update. So ribbon cuttings that are coming up, Flourish Counseling, we get to celebrate with you all today at 12:15, and we can't wait. Enterprise Truck Rental is tomorrow at 12:15. Love Yourself Boutique, Friday, April 14th at 12:15. And then Western Academy at the Neblet, Friday, April the 21st. Can't wait to celebrate with you, Olga. So you all may know the General Assembly is in session right now. They're going to be gaveling out at midnight tonight. So watch your inbox for our update, and the session will conclude, as I said, today. So we'll be giving you any updates on what's going on in Frankfort. Ambassadors are going to be meeting on April the 19th at noon. And then Philanthropy, Arts, and Culture in our Community Day is going to be on April the 20th. Ashton Warren, when she started as Leadership Owensboro's director, she wanted to add a day, and we're so glad that she's leading this program now and looking forward to learning and teaching our class about philanthropy and all the great things that are going on in our community and arts and culture as well. And then Leadership Owensboro alumni, we had our first event last Friday night. We had a great crowd in attendance, a lot of just different ages, different faces. It was really good to connect with everyone. We want to thank Lauren Estrell and Pam Smith-Wright for starting that back, and we look forward to more events and really connecting with the community through Leadership Owensboro alumni. And Educators in the Workplace also wrapped up last week with our teachers going into Owensboro Health and River Valley Behavioral Health for their healthcare day. That was just been a great year to be able to take educators into our local economic landscape so they can connect their students with great opportunities post-graduation and post-secondary. And our 40 under 40, we get lots of questions when this is going to launch. We are going to be doing that again this year. So be watching for this. Nominate anyone who you feel like is an emerging leader in our community. It's a great way to recognize our emerging talent, and also for the people that get chosen to really get selected and be a part of a great group of people who come together to change our community and make it better. And save the date, the Leadership Summit is coming up in the first week of June. This is going to be a national level speaker engagement, and it's going to be limited to 400 people. It's at the Bluegrass Museum. Watch your inbox. There's going to be great sponsorship opportunities, and we have some amazing speakers. D'Angelo Simmons is going to be here. He's an NBA agent, player. Bracken Darrell from Logitech, and none other than Ms. Dee Robinson will be there. Cannot wait. It's going to be a great day to come together and talk about connecting and changing our world for better. And Dee, we can't wait. Can't wait. And thank you to our renewals. You'll see at your place on the back of the Chamber Matters all the renewals from this month. I say this every month, but please remember, these are people that are investing in our community. They believe that when we come together, we can make things better, and it's people that believe in doing things for the collective good and unite us. So we have so many calls to the Chamber, and you probably do at your business, on ways to find resources, whether it be how to connect with shelters that need food, or if it's someone who may need assistance. Erica from the center has got together this app, and it's a platform, and I'm not going to explain it because I will not do it justice. But please scan the QR code. There's going to be training tomorrow at 10 to talk about how your organization can be a part of this, and you can help people in the community connect with resources and connect with each other. And thank you to Big Rivers, our coffee sponsor. And I do want to say one more thing. We have gotten so many calls at the Chamber over the past 5 years about our community being dirty. We have our streets that we need to clean up, and probably everybody in here has seen that. And I want to thank Kyle Odd and the Isaac Sterrett Adventure Foundation. He stepped up and then connected. He's on your board, right, Katie? But we were driving to Lexington, and Kyle was talking about how dirty things were, and Judge Caslin was in the car, and it just started this connection of hey, why don't we do something? You know, we don't wait for government to do things all the time. So I just want to thank you all for your leadership of stepping up and saying, let's just come together and make things beautiful together. That's what communities are about, is people stepping up and making a difference. And I want to thank you for making a difference. And Oscar, it's so good to see you today. You're looking a little trashy. I don't want to embarrass you, but we'll talk about it later. Love you, ma'am. And that's our chamber update. Thanks, Chad.
Thank you. Awesome. To introduce our featured speaker this morning, we're going to welcome up our board chair, Sarah Murphy Ford.
I'm going to get off script for just a minute. Don't kill me for this. But I'm about to introduce this powerhouse woman and coach. And I know Heather Cavett has already left. I watched her leave. But Sarah and all these coaches, it's been a heavy week at schools. And I've never seen women pour into these students like these coaches do. I know we have incredible coaches in this community, so I just want to give a round of applause to Heather and Sarah and your team, because you do make a big difference, and we see you and we appreciate you. Yeah. All right. An acclaimed speaker, Dee Robinson, is an award-winning entrepreneur who works with individuals and organizations to overcome the fear that holds them back and instead amplify their communications, have the confidence to discuss difficult topics, and pursue their dreams, discovering their true purpose along the way. Her goal is to help clients live a bold life of service and significance. She leads and speaks with passion, guiding her audience to effectively strengthen and elevate their vision to new heights. What shines through in both her work and her public speaking is her uncanny ability to instill courage and build courage circles to maximize ROP3, return on people, profit, and purpose, and leave audiences intrigued and wanting to hear more. Dee founded and scaled Robinson Hill, Inc., building a powerful reputation as an outstanding operator in driving sales, efficiency, innovation, and employee performance. Leveraging comprehensive and integrative marketing strategies customized for key audiences to drive expansion, she spearheaded multiple capital development efforts and forged successful joint ventures and partnerships that further spurred growth. Robinson Hill grew to encompass over 60 airport and tourist site restaurants and retail stores. Brands and partnerships in the company portfolio include notable names like Hudson Group, Ben & Jerry's, Farmer's Fridge, Potbelly, and Lettuce Entertain You. Hello. Prior to starting her own company, Dee attended the University of Pennsylvania and the Kellogg School of Management, worked in 2 large banks, consumer goods company Johnson & Johnson, and top advertising agency Leo Burnett, before taking the brave leap to entrepreneurship. It would have been easy to stay in her stable and well-paying career, but she always longed to move the needle of her work experience to something bigger that would contribute meaningfully to our world, and she speaks compellingly about the decision to become an entrepreneur. In that process, she formulated and cultivated a scalable and teachable strategy to help others embrace change and forge their own unique path. Dee's candid recounting of her own wins and losses in running her own business and lessons learned from each consistently resonate with her audience. Dee's refreshing honesty entertains audiences. She engages people from the moment she steps in front of them and leaves them with ideas and techniques they will use long after the speaking engagement is over. She is inspired to help people take their careers and themselves to new levels. We all deserve to be wherever our dreams take us. When not working, advocating, serving on boards, or playing golf, Dee enjoys cooking, a passion she shared with her beloved mother, who was a host and a courageous soul. Her dinners were nothing short of legendary. It was also her mom who taught her to always leave people and places better than she found them, something that she now become her unofficial mission. Dee is a bourbon maker, a proud mom, and grandma to her daughter's cat. Living in Chicago makes juggling her love for power boating and golf difficult to balance. Welcome, Dee.
Good morning, Owensboro. Good morning. All right, that's a little better. Well, listen, I want to tell you how honored I am to be here today, and something special happened a while ago, and I'm going to start with some thank yous. So, Green River, thank you for sponsoring this event and also being a part of my journey. I want to thank this lovely woman right here. I got to know Candace, and let me say something. The moment I met her, I knew she was passionate about helping all of you, elevating Owensboro and your businesses. I mean, she leads with her heart, and I know she's trying to make a difference. And so it's my honor to be here and to get to know you and call you a friend. So thank you so very much. Now, there's a few other people in the audience I have to say thank you to. So I'm going to start with this guy way in the back, Jacob Call. Jacob, I just want to say to you how honored it has been to collaborate with you. It's been many, many years, and just so you all know, that guy actually had the vision for me coming to speak to you today. So this is maybe 3 years ago, I think we were talking. But let me also say this to you, the best is yet to come. The way you lead, the way you actually do the work that you do, I know that you care. I know how you cared about my project and what I was trying to do with this new bourbon, which we'll talk a little bit about. But I want you to know that I am cheering you on, and thank you so very much. Now, there's a guy named Bart Darrell. Who knows Bart? Yeah, I was going to say, who doesn't know Bart? So many years ago when I actually visited, I met Bart. I happened to know his brother, Bracken. And he said, you have to meet my brother. So here I am coming to Green River, right? And here was Bart, and he came and had lunch with me. On that faithful day, that's when I fell in love with Owensboro. He took the time to take me around this beautiful city with all of its challenges, but all its many goods. Bart, I have to tell you, we saw Kentucky Wesleyan, we saw everything. I'm gonna need some water. But here's what I also remember on that day. We went by a schoolyard, and so again, hearts out to all the kids who are suffering because of gun violence. But I remember this, this is it, thanks. I remembered something. There was these school kids, and I remember thinking, what would their life be like? But more importantly, what could their life be like? Think about that. What could it be? So one of the things I'm going to ask you all to do is to think about when you were a child. I want you to think about what people gave you to help you. But on the other hand, I want you to think about this. What didn't you get when you were a child and hoped for? And when you see a young child, I'm going to ask you to take a moment and give back to them. Do something, touch them, say hello, encourage them. Remember when you were a child and you knew what you needed. The children of Owensboro need everyone in this room. I know that. So I'm going to ask you to do that one thing for me. That would be a gift, but more importantly, you all have the power to influence lives, and you can touch them. So I'm going to ask you to do that. Now let's talk about some things you might want to think about. So I'm going to ask you all to do something for me. Now we talked about these young kids, and we're going to also know we're going to celebrate them, right? But I know we're all here as entrepreneurs. That's something we all have in common. But I know something about every single person in this room. We all have a dream, or we imagine a better version of ourselves in the future. So I'm going to ask you to do something for me. I want you all to close your eyes. And I want you to think about it. I'm going to look around. I want those eyes closed. All right, thank you, Chad. I see you. I want you to think about what kind of conversations you're having. I want you to think about where your business is, what you're celebrating. What kind of conversations are you having with your employees, with your families? 5 years down the road, I want you to think about how you look at life, how you're celebrating it. Now I'm going to ask you to open your eyes. I'm going to ask anyone in the audience, would you be willing to share what you see 5 years from now? I will pick on people, just so you know. I know there's some people from this list. Anyone, where do you see your business? Brave souls, thank you. Go ahead.
I see Western Academy at the Neblett as a school.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we're just an academic enrichment program that we meet on every other Saturday.
Sure.
But I do see it as a school for boys of African Americans.
That's amazing. Anyone else? Thank you. Hi.
I work for the University of Kentucky, College of Agriculture, Food, and Environment with the Davis County Cooperative Extension Office.
Right.
And I'm a new employee there, been there a little over a year. And my goal and what I see is more diversity in our program.
Wonderful.
I'm working really hard on that.
Now, many of you may not been brave enough, and thank you, ladies, for commenting. But I'm going to ask you something in those dreams that you have for 5 years, or whatever you were thinking about. Why not now? Why not right now? Why do we have to wait? Think about the weight we say we're going to lose tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. Think about our companies. We're trying to sell more products. We want to maybe scale 5 times, 10 times. We're going to talk about that. But why not now? What is holding you back? Because here's what I do know. Every great dream begins with a dreamer. You all are dreamers. You're entrepreneurs. That makes you a dreamer instantly. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars, to change the world. Now, I'm always about trying to change the world, so you'll know this about me. I'm that little soldier that could. But here's what I also know. We can do anything that we want to do in our lives with courage. So I wrote this book, Courage by Design. So let me tell you about the book. First of all, I thought I might call it Courage is a Choice. Well, we all know it's a choice, right? We don't make that choice. Then I said, courage is your choice. But most of us aren't willing to be accountable. We just aren't. But then I thought about Courage by Design. I was out on a run. I called my publisher up. I said, this is the title. Because what I want you to know is that you can actually design a path towards anything you want. You can design your way to courage. And by the way, I had to create a path to courage. So let me tell you my story about being an entrepreneur. And I tell people, by the way, don't do what I did. I leaped. I left a great job, as you mentioned, My mother, by the way, thought I lost my mind. Wait, you've gone to all these great schools and you're actually leaving to go do what? Be an entrepreneur? I'm like, yes, Mom. But I said, if not now, then when? If not now, then when? She was hesitant. But guess what? She became a cheerleader. I wish they were still here. And my mom said one thing. She said, it's not going to be easy. So one thing I learned instantly, no one ever said it would be, one of the greatest lessons ever, because all of you know how challenging it gets. But also I want you all to know that you're among the 1%ers, because many people won't do what you've done. Now, on my journey, I got to a point where I can do this. I got to a point where I couldn't pay my rent. So leaving this great job, most of us never have enough money when we start these ventures. I couldn't pay my rent. But here's what I also know. I was getting in my own way. So finally, when I got to that point, I'm like, what's the problem? The problem was my own fear. It was what I was telling myself, what I couldn't do. Now, here's what I do know. Your assets are here. Forget about your balance sheet. How you think, what you think about constantly, is what will manifest in your life. True. So fear, I had to say, I'm going to put you off to the side. I said, I don't have time for you anymore. I got some work to do. But here's what I also know. When you have doubt, fear, when you start thinking about limitations, your mind will not allow it to be creative and solve problems. Impossible. Scientifically, for many doctors in that room, but for it is absolutely certain when you're consumed. So I had to prove that I can figure this out. I said, Dee, you got to work this out, because otherwise you're going to be homeless. See, I didn't have a mom. Now, I would have gone back home, so I couldn't have been homeless, but that wasn't an option for me. Going back home, it was not. I had to make it work. So I discovered a little trick. I'm going to ask you all when you get home to get rubber bands, and I have one here. I've put this little band on my wrist. I call it the I can, I will, and I have faith. And I talk about being a very, very, very faithful entrepreneur. But this band saved me. This band led to all of my successes because I learned how to control this. So let me tell you what I did. So put this rubber band on. Anytime when I said, I don't have the money for this, pop. And I had to rephrase every single doubtful word, limiting word. You know what? I don't have the right education. By the way, we are enough. We have everything we need right now. So never let that ever be education, money, height, whatever it is. That's in your mind. So I went on a 21-day, actually it was 30. In the book, I give you 21. I give you guys a break in the book in that it was hard. So get this, every day I would have to be positive, and I would go 7 days, and then another day, 7 days, and then I get to day 14, I'll never forget this, and I'm like, darn it, because I forced myself to start all over again. Every single time. And finally I got the swing of it. But what it did, it made me conscious of my thinking. And from that moment on, I kept. And by the way, every venture, including bourbon, I didn't have the money to start. Now I've gone from 0 employees to 800 to 1,000, multi-million-dollar company. I've done a lot. But it's because I've done one thing. I found courage. I designed my path towards that. So the secret is right in front of you. And let's talk about the courage to hear. How many of you meditate? Ooh, come on. All right, we're going to do a whole stillness session. It's probably one of the most important things I've learned. And if you aren't meditating, I want to have you think about one thing. It's like a 50 billion plus industry. There must be something to it, because I was also reluctant. But I'm going to say this, having the courage to hear and stop being busy. Busy is not success. I've learned to take a moment to slow down and understand that stillness is the key. Every single major project idea I've had is because I have allowed myself to become still. You owe 10 minutes to yourself. How many have 10 minutes for themselves in a day? Now, I know, I want to see every hand in this room up. Thank you. And do it with a smile. And you must be a meditator. You guys did tell, right. But here's why it's important. The voice is within. I say I'm faithful. God is speaking to us in ways. He gives us everything. He promises us an abundant life. But we have to help God help us. No, we also have to act. You're going to learn things in that time. What are you going to do? What are you going to do with it? In my case, I had an idea to write a book. And by the way, let me say this. How many book writers or aspiring book writers in the room? Love it. I now know why more people talk about writing a book than actually write one. It's hard work, but it's not impossible. So please write your book. I had to learn that there's always a story. We all have one. I'm going to have to keep me on time as well. But doing the right thing is also critical. One of the other lessons that was so important to me was when I learned how to give, that the universe rewards those who give. I've been hearing these great stories about people around Owensboro, Candy, all of you, doing great things for this community. It comes back. I also share with people, if you are struggling in your life, I'm going to ask you to take a look. It's because of something you're doing. It's not other people. It's just not. Now, here's the other way for us to find all of the joy, fulfillment. How do we change our businesses? Is to think about these things. These 3 goals will lead to great success. Illuminating the path. What does that actually mean? We're all entrepreneurs. We're trying to scale, build our companies. We're trying to create jobs, maybe even build wealth. But how do we go about illuminating the path? What do we want to give? What are you giving of yourself? In my case, I knew that I loved hiring people, but more importantly, she talked about ROP3, investing in people and creating an environment of inclusion. And what does that mean? I know my entire team, and even if it's large, I could still go in. I even create cheat sheets, by the way. Every manager is required to have a summary of every employee I have. So when I walk into that location, I can review those cards and I can connect with my team. You know, a great way to reduce your healthcare costs? Happy employees. Think about it. Happy employees rarely get sick. They show up to work, they do everything. So building people up is illuminating the path. The other way that we do that is also learning to work on our business, not in it. Entrepreneurs get sidetracked in the day-to-day. The one thing that literally changed me from one business to multiple was deciding, first of all, where did I want to go? It's okay if you want to be a single business, it's fine. I knew I wanted more, but once you actually know what that path is and what you want, then your actions go there. I knew that I wanted to build wealth, a legacy for my child. I knew that I had a mother who could not do what I do. My mother couldn't stand here. I stand on her shoulders. So once I decided, I think I want to build wealth, not for wealth's sake, because here's what happens. I don't actually do anything for money. I do it to make a difference. I do because I lean into my passions and my own strengths. Once again, I don't have a skill in the area of pop. I'll find somebody who can help me. because we do nothing alone. I say me, we. I talk about my business, and I always say we, and everyone thinks I have partners. Well, I actually own the company. But I want to talk about partners for a moment. I also scaled my company through partnership. So those are opportunities for you to think about how you look at your business. Are you building partnerships? What are we doing? Now, let's talk about shining a light. I'm going to tell you a story about a minister who wrote this amazing sermon. He worked on it day and night. And he showed up to the church to deliver it. There was only one person in the audience. If I had shown up here today and there was one person, I would deliver this same speech. Do you all know who Chris Gardner is? Pursuit of Happiness guy? So I actually reached out to Chris because I wanted to figure out how to sell books and how Chris had, managed to build his business. Again, I reach out to people. He tells me this story about this minister. And he said, Steve, the gentleman in the audience went up to the minister and he said, you know what, you changed my life. You know who it was? Does anybody know the story? It was Billy Graham. And he says, you know why I know it's true? He says, Dee, because he told me. That's the power of one. On this journey of mine, I always thought, oh, it's too big, I can't do it. It's bigger than me. Changing the world, figuring out how to make it a more equitable and just place. Even during the pandemic, what am I supposed to do? It's just me. But when I found out that I could touch one life and know that when you touch one, you'll touch another, and you'll touch another, and you'll touch another. Bart is one of those folks who keeps touching people. I know that about him. I know Jacob is, I know Candace is. But when you stop thinking that this is such a big, big lift, I'm going to talk about racism for a moment. Someone had this idea of eradicating racism, and I thought, that's just too big a lift, I can't see it. But you know what I could do? I can do what I could do. I can work at closing the gap. So you don't give up, no matter how hard it is. I can deposit, and even in my company, what can I do? What can I do to lift people up? So some of you know, I think I've talked about that, they mentioned golf. I am a trustee for the PGA Reach Foundation. So how many golfers in the room? All right, somebody's leaving here early because I know he's got a tea time. I know. He already told me. Okay. I do the work for the PGA for one reason. I'm on their foundation. I give money, but here's what I'm also trying to do. I want to change the game. I want to influence lives, the business, and the game of golf. I am chair of PGA Works, where I'm bringing more women and people of color into the game because they have to see it to believe it. I stand before you knowing that people will look at me and see themselves, others may not. But I want to show people what is possible. And I know that the way I look, the fact that I'm a woman of color, for some it will matter because they don't see themselves. I left my corporate job, by the way, for one reason. And I'll tell anyone this, leave any place where you don't feel valued. And at that moment, I didn't feel valued, and I also didn't see anyone that looked like Dee. And I gave my heart and soul to this company, but I just could not see the traction. Now let's talk about blazing a trail, not Bourbon Trail. I'm blazing a trail, and all of you can as well. That's when we lean into our powers, our strengths, and our opportunities that in front of us. Now I'm going to say this. She talked about we deserve to be anywhere our dreams take us. We do. We have the ability to do that, the courage. What is your purpose? I finally realized one thing. Mine is to shorten the runway to success for others. I don't want anyone to go through what I've gone through. I don't want a young kid to struggle. I don't want a young kid doubting. There's a wonderful world out there, and they have to learn how to find the people who will encourage them, empower them, and stretch them. Even blazing a new trail might mean doing a little laundry, everybody. Everyone should not necessarily be in your life. You as entrepreneurs know that people have said to you, why are you doing that? People told me that. But let me share this with you. You know what they're doing? They're telling you what they can't do. I want you to remember that. When they say, I want to do this, I want to build a new hospital, I want to do this in the performing arts, when I want to make sure that this lovely city is clean, whatever it is, people are telling you what they can't do. Sadly, too many people listen to that and they stop. Once again, no one ever said it'd be easy, but it's not impossible. Someone told me I couldn't be a bourbon maker. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Here I am. Now, what I want to do really quickly, and I'm going to do this. Does anyone know what this means? I'll give you a free copy of my book if you get what NMY means.
No, maybe yes.
What's that?
No, maybe yes.
Who said that? My girl. Okay, come on, give her a round of. I have a book for you. All right, well, you'll get one too. How about that? She spoke up and it was your idea. But it's right. This is actually what guides me in every company I'm building. Because you know what? I'm going to say something to you. Every single one, they said, no, I don't think I want to do that. Even Ben and Jerry's said, oh, we don't think we want to be in Chicago. I'm like, what? I kept calling. Maybe. We became among the top 3 franchises in the country, and they didn't think they wanted to be in Chicago. It was cold. I saw what they couldn't see. But here's the point. You too have a vision. Others may not see it. It's our job to help them. And just because there's an obstacle, remember this, the obstacle is the way. That's where we learn. So please keep this in mind. When you hear no, I would not be here today. I could tell you every single venture. I got rejected from my first airport deal. And now 60 plus, too many people allow no to be their life and they stop. Now, I said I'm a bourbon maker. I want you to look at this here. There's always like, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it. Whatever your dreams are, whatever you're thinking you may want to do, I want you to actually do it. Have a plan, know what your North Star is. Don't let anyone get in the way. Control your thoughts. Because here's what I know about each and every one of you. I said this earlier. You all have the power to influence lives. But you also have the power to influence your own. So whatever your struggles are, whatever you dream about, lean into it and just believe. I'm going to share one thing with you. I had a friend who I asked to write a poem for me because this bourbon is so many things. Jacob remembered me talking to the group knowing that I wanted to use bourbon as a tool. And how do we use it? To inspire spirited conversations, allowing us to be, maybe learning to be comfortable with the uncomfortable, being able to extend a hand. I want to change the world with bourbon, ladies and gentlemen. I want people to rethink about how, when we get together, when we break bread, when we drink, we are actually more alike than we're different. We do that so easily. Look at us right now, sitting at tables with diversity all around us. But yet we're afraid. Some of that fear is simply, well, you know, I haven't had many encounters with someone that looks like me. That's okay. Find a way. My mom always said, find a way. She wrote, this is just part of the poem, but I'm going to share this with you. And Jacob, again, I can't thank you enough. Sip sweet libation, enjoy a double pour for a dynamic and rich conversation. Good trouble is waiting to be explored. A brand for the ages, a taste for all times. Trouble doesn't last always unless it's the good kind. It is a joy to be here with you all. I think if there's time, there is a little video that we could share with you all, but let's do this. But here's one special treat. This brand is not on the market yet, but yet we are selling like crazy. We send this to friends and family. We'll launch in May. I hope that you will take your phones out, because that barcode will allow you to buy Good Trouble. And we will sell out. We have a short, I guess we had the limited edition version, and I only think we have 25 bottles of those left. But here's what's amazing on this screen. Jacob, we knew this when we started. I said we were making bourbon worthy of his name. We had a standard of excellence. Jacobs has the patience of Job, because I tasted a lot of bourbon before we decided which would be what. And here we are. But look here at this screen, there's something important. 3 gold medals. This out the gate, 3 for 3. We knew that we had great bourbon. We knew it was important to be great, but now we're going to figure out a way to make a difference. So I hope that you take advantage of this opportunity. This is my inaugural run of Good Trouble. It's wonderful. Bart and I and Candace last night had a chance to enjoy it. I'm going to share the bottle with you really quickly. Really quickly, I want to share a couple quick things about this. Shoulders, broad. We stand on broad shoulders, everyone. And that was the importance of this bottle. The symbol here, I thought about Lady Liberty. That's what I call her, Statue of Liberty, which signifies liberty for all. I want liberty for all. But this bull is a raging bull with hate, misogyny, racism, all the things, but we can tame that bull. We can do that. And that symbol in gold, it says spirited conversations. That's a symbol of hope when we start talking together, engaging in conversation, drinking a little bourbon together. We have an opportunity to change the world. So please, I really ask you to take a look, because it started in Owensboro, and it was so important for me to make sure that I allow you all the opportunity to buy this brand. And the last thing, I don't know if I can get the video, is it going? And I'm gonna share this video. Is Drew in the room? This is also from a local, Bourbon is really something special. And when I started on this venture, I wanted to look at the problems we have in this world, and then how do we use bourbon as a tool? Bourbon is American. It is as American as you can get in terms of the drink. And we're at a very unprecedented time in our country. And so part of the inspiration for the brand was just that. Let's find unique ways to start thinking about solving problems. Let's find unique ways to have conversations. I am a life learner. I want to hear what you have to say. I want to hear what others have to say. We don't have to agree. But what we can do is respect each other and be heard. When we sit at a table, things come together. We actually connect as individuals, and the same thing when we sit down with drink, whether at a dinner table, at a bar, in conversation. Something magical happens, and then we are more alike than we're different.
Think about how to go about creating great bourbon, and that's when I turned to an 8th generation master distiller. And we worked on just perfecting the right liquid that I ultimately came to love, and which is ultimately now Good Trouble. And Good Trouble is also made in one of the oldest distilleries in Kentucky. It was also vitally important as I was seeking to make great bourbon to go to the heart of where bourbon is made.
Why Good Trouble? I know you're a serious bourbon drinker, will love it, but I wanted to also make sure that it was approachable for any and all. So what I say about Good Trouble is not your grandfather's bourbon, but one he wants to drink. And I love that because it is such an amazing bourbon. It drinks so beautifully. It is something that you will savor and enjoy.
And then I sought to learn about the intricacies of the craft. And I quickly learned that bourbon is actually both art and science. Even when it comes down to developing the right mash bill, bourbon is whiskey, but whiskey is not bourbon. And bourbon requires at least 51% corn.
I call it an artisan bourbon, and I want anyone to say, wow, this is really good bourbon. That was really our first mission. The journey of Good Trouble is actually in many ways been part of my entire life. I tell people that my mom always said that no one ever said it would be easy. This journey has not been easy, it has not. But I've always said it as an entrepreneur, when things get hard, it's your passion that will keep you going. And I was passionate about this project. I was passionate about seeing it come to life. And I absolutely know with all of my heart and soul that Good Trouble will touch lives. Thank you, everyone. It's been my honor.
We're going to need that QR code up one more time. Before we let you go, one last final piece of business. Our special guest this morning, our other one, Oscar, the Grouch. I love a good reveal. Come on up. Come on up, Oscar. Yes, please pull your pants/trash can up. What on earth? So, you know, who watches Masked Singer on Fox? You've seen that show, right, where there's celebrities who sing and stuff? This is hilarious. So I need you to chant with me what they do on Masked Singer. Take it off. You can do that. Come on, let's do it. Take it off. Oh, not that. What kind of program is this? Actually, in full disclosure, like hearing Take It Off chanted by a crowd, I'm having flashbacks to the day I did a remote broadcast at the Roosevelt House, and all the ladies in the cafeteria were screaming that at me. I'm like, I'm not taking it off. Stop it. Okay. Take it off. Take it off. Take it off. It's County Commissioner Chris Caslin, who's kind of a sweaty, hot mess right now for sitting in that thing for an hour. You all, thank you so much, Dee. You are fabulous. Have a fantastic spring break if you're going. If not, just hang with the rest of us here. That's hilarious. I'm obsessed with it. Oh my God, seriously.